Your chart represents different areas of your career in your life, and I will show you how. Your ascendant represents the very first decision you make in your life, meaning, for example, the very first thing you wanted to do was to become a psychologist, an artist, a doctor. However, the ascendant is squaring the MC, the medium coeli, and the medium coeli represents the highest self. It represents your status, so sometimes it can be that your first decision will not be the same as your highest self, so this is why a lot of people will change their careers throughout their life. So the MC basically represents your status. It can represent if you're going to be a manager, it represents if you're going to be a celebrity, it represents if you're going to be someone who just simply gives a service, but it's like more behind the scenes. And then your 9th house will represent what kind of study you are going to choose. The 6th house will represent your workplace, and it will also represent minor jobs. For example, you have been working as a waitress until you were accomplishing your studies and getting into your actual career. This is the 6th house. The smaller, kind of like less meaningful jobs you have been doing in order to just simply get money. And it will represent your work environment. For example, if you have Saturn in the 6th house, it can mean that you will work in an old place, like an old building. And it will also represent the people you are giving service to. For example, you are working as a hairdresser and you have Saturn in your 6th house. You will more likely have clients which are older. And then your 2nd house is going to represent your talents and how much money you are going to make and the way you are going to make money. If you have, for example, Capricorn in your 2nd house, you probably will just have a regular income every month. If you have Aquarius, it might be you become a freelancer or someone who is like their own boss in a way, because you will have a very dynamic way of gaining money. And the 7th house will represent the people you work on eye to eye. It means, for example, as some business partners, contracts you are making. But it can also sometimes represent clients. It depends on how the relationship is with the clients. And then the 11th house can also represent bigger companies. If you have a lot of planets in the 11th house, it usually represents you will work in a bigger company.